Welcome to the Mortgage Note Podcast. We're speaking with Julie Joseforsky, who is president of the regional office model for Fay Financial.
Fay Financial is a specialty servicer, and we're a provider of real estate products and services. We really cover the entire real estate ecosystem. From a servicing perspective, we specialize in both performing and non-performing loans. In terms of asset class capabilities and competencies, we have some very good skills in the non-QM and DSCR space. From an overall organizational perspective, we cover retail originations, wholesale originations, correspondent lending, MSR acquisition, title, property and casualty insurance, realty, renovations, property maintenance, asset management, property management, and REO. We do REO not just for ourselves, but for other lenders as well. So as you can see, that really describes a complete ecosystem of real estate products and services. So that's a little bit of who we are. Got our start in the specialty servicing space 16 years ago. Our CEO, Ed Fay, started this business out of his house. This was really kind of in the midst of the financial crisis, and really quickly realized that there were better ways in terms of servicing non-performing assets, and felt like collective experience of both his background as well as the background of some of the early employees allowed for him to have some capability and skill set in terms of helping borrowers work through some very trying times during the financial crisis. He was able to get some early contracts with some servicers. Upon successfully really engaging in the servicing arena, he then was able to look at the opportunity to expand the business beyond servicing. And over the years, we've added all of those various businesses. Some of those businesses are mature businesses for us, and some of those businesses are newer businesses for us. But that's a little bit about Fay Financial. And then in terms of how I came to be here at Fay, so I've known Ed my entire career. As a matter of fact, he and I worked at Household International together, which was then sold to HSBC Bank. We worked together for 4 years. Many of the people within our organization that we work together with there currently work at Fay today. So I think that's a pretty good story. Been here for 4 years. And when I first onboarded with the organization, I ran a number of businesses for Fay, which included our originations title, as well as our property and casualty insurance business, and then helped to stand up a couple of other businesses for the organization, our MSR purchase business and our whole loan trading desk. So about 8 months ago, Ed asked if I would step into a different role as a group president of the organization and focus on a couple of strategic imperatives, one of which is regional expansion for the organization. And the other was to be on point for continued acquisition of originations and title opportunities. So I spend my time across both of those priorities, most of it around regional expansion. The objective there is to utilize the relationships and the capabilities that we have as an organization to be able to bring all of the products and service capability to the table for our prospective clients and customers.
Can you expound a little bit on this regional expansion that you guys are doing? If I understand correctly, that's going really well for the company, and you're doing quite a bit of reaching out.
I think no mystery, right? You see a lot of the what I would consider trends in the real estate and mortgage industry. A lot of acquisition that's taking place to acquire either servicing capability or to deepen data within the organization or to deepen originations capability. Here at Fay, of course, we are a servicer, and we have a very vast ecosystem of product and service capability that allows us to really monetize our investments. And when we look at a lot of the synergies and a lot of the efficiencies and the trends of such that are going on within the mortgage and the real estate industry, I think that we are very prepared in terms of kind of the next evolution of what these businesses and these markets and these industries are intended to evolve, how they're intended to evolve, I should say. At the end of the day, the market is going to go to those players that have servicing capability, access to data and product capability, and have originations arms that can both take advantage of not just the purchase money market, but in the event that we have any uptick in the retention side of the business, these teams have to be very well prepared, and I think we are. And that's really the beautiful part about the regional expansion that we have going on, is that we're able to take advantage of select market opportunities where there is still a significant amount of residential and single family rental growth. Allows us to be able to plug and play into those markets and take advantage of those industry trends and the efficiencies that we bring to market.
And at Fay Financial, as you had mentioned, it's an ever-changing landscape. At Fay Financial, how do you get a good grasp on assessing the current housing market, and how do you fit into that ever-changing landscape as far as the general consumer is concerned, or the commercial consumer?
Sure. I think that we have deep roots in the industry, in all facets of the industry, on the lending side, on the servicing side, on the real estate side. It gives us an opportunity to really be plugged in to all of what I would consider sort of the centers of influence across the industries. And, in doing so, I think that we have a very good understanding of where a lot of those trend lines are. And we have very deep roots and relationships within the industry. And if you've been in it long enough, it's relatively a small circle of influence. And so I think that we've got some very credible eyes and ears to the ground, and have a good sense in terms of how this industry is going to continue to evolve. I think that we also have a pretty good understanding of the political landscape as well. And we feel that we're really right fitted and right positioned for what those future opportunities will be. We spent a lot of time, talking about what our competitors are doing and how they're evolving. We spend a considerable amount of time on our own strategic priorities and vision for the organization and growth expectations that we have for all of our respective businesses. With that said, I think that we're very well positioned for some of the new market opportunities that will evolve here over the course of the next several years in the industry.
After all this time in it, how is it still personal to you, and what gets you
Sure.
excited to come to work?
Throughout my career, I've been awarded so many de novo and revitalization responsibilities. And I always consider these types of opportunities to be high adrenaline, high energy roles, which, harmonize with my personality and my work ethic. And, I grew up playing sports, was a two-sport collegiate athlete back in the day. And to say the least, I'm pretty competitive, disciplined, and team-oriented. I think most of all, persevering, which you have to be when you take on roles like this. And I think the regional expansion is one of our top organizational priorities. And I think it takes advantage of a lot of the skill sets that I bring to the table, not just in terms of personal characteristics, but, as I shared my background in the industry, which really is all things originations, retail, wholesale, correspondent, home equity lending, consumer payments, business purpose, and small business lending. I've done micro lending, student loans, property casualty, settlement services, home improvement lending, collections, and servicing retention. So I don't know. I think I've pretty much hit just about every highlight that you can hit. And I feel that my sets of experiences and maybe some of my more personal characteristics, make me right suited for this particular role. So it's been really enjoyable to see our progress and our growth. We utilize these regional expansion opportunities as also an opportunity to do significant test and learn, so that we can export what I would consider best practices to our other regional locations, as well as throughout the organization. So, I would say that my personal growth has always been in what I call uncharted territories and beta environments, and I find that to be incredibly motivating. I think that's where you grow most as an individual, where you learn most, and what I really enjoy about what I do is I get to share those experiences with other leaders in our organization, and certainly young talent in our organization and those that I mentor. It's really a great pay it forward opportunity for me.
From what I understand in talking to you before and hearing more of what I'm talking to you now, that you do have a great many things going on the Fay Financial landscape. Is there anything you would like to add about yourself and your journey, or what Fay is doing now or looking to do perhaps in the near future that you're also excited about and would like to share?
Sure. I would say that we very much, as an organization, want to continue to evolve this regional expansion beyond the three markets that we have our initial seating in. I think it's safe to say that, we'd like to be relevant in at least about a dozen markets where there's significant amount of residential growth and single family rental growth, where we have what I would consider density amongst our other businesses that make it a right fit for us. So I'm looking forward to that continued expansion. I think overall, from an organizational perspective, we'll continue to grow and expand our existing businesses, which are many, and I was able to share earlier in our conversation what those businesses are. Our hope is that those businesses continue to mature and grow. I think that we're right positioned for that to happen, and we're going to continue to make investments in those businesses, as the year progresses and well into 2026.
I'm Scott Kimbler. We've been speaking with Julie Joseforsky, who is president of the regional office model for Fay Financial. Join us again next time on the Mortgage Note podcast.